Welcome along to the Invincible podcast with my man Lee Judges in the building. And listen, I'm feeling good about Arsenal at the moment, man. I'm starting to get excited. Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Jesus, Fabio Vieira, still trying to get Rafinha. Yeah, you know what? I'm starting to get excited, Lee.
Listen.
Look at him.
No.
Look at you guys. He's so miserable, isn't it?
I'm not miserable. I will get excited when a couple of other areas are filled. The Jesus one, I'm going to be saying that I'm happy with that. I'm very
cheers,
happy.
mate.
No,
Yeah,
that's a good thing. I'll tell you what makes me more pleasurable about that is that obviously he's had a few offers from other clubs as well, and he's chose the Arsenal.
Tottenham.
Well, including Tottenham, and he chose the Arsenal without Champions League football. That to me, I like that he's not just coming because it's Champions League football. He's coming to be the main man, or he's coming to make things happen at Arsenal. So from that point of view, I think that's more exciting to me than anything, if I'll be honest.
But you don't seem...
No, because we need other areas filled. Now, if we were to bring in a left-side defender to cover...
Working on it.
And if that was to be fulfilled...
Working on it, Lisandro Martinez working on that.
If that comes through, I'll be more than that. Sometimes, and a central midfield player, I'm going to say this now, I like the Rafinha one, but as much as exciting, but I would be more excited if those two areas were filled. Do you see what I'm saying? Because I feel that's what we need. And if we can cover all bases this season, in this transfer window, and I mean, for instance, we get that Martinez, we get a midfield player, and then on the cherry on the top, on that little cake there, is Rafinha. That would be the cherry, you know that.
Well, it could be that, you know, there's been a lot of people sort of said, well, why are we not trying to get that cover for Tierney first?
I get
before get Rafinha. But I think with the Rafinha thing, right, I think they're having to move fast on this. If they're to have any chance of getting him, remember, a lot of clubs are interested in him, right? Barcelona's where he really wants to be. That's the club he dreams of going to. Barcelona, as we know, have got a lot of financial difficulties at the moment. They can't even, you know, they've got Christensen and Frank Kessie they bought from AC Milan. They can't even register those signings yet. They're in that much financial trouble. But that might not last forever. They could get an injection of cash in and they could move for Rafinha. They've also got Ousmane Dembele there, which is, you know, if he stays, again, that lessens the chance of them bringing in Rafinha. But I think in the case of Rafinha, why you're seeing it with Arsenal, they're trying to move now, is that they realise that if they are to have a chance of getting him, they've got to move quick. Tottenham are interested in Rafinha. They're going after Richarlison. If they can't get Richarlison, they'll go for Rafinha as well. And they have got Champions League football. So it's a thing that they've got to move fast, and maybe then they go on the other targets. But I'm just infused because I'm just liking the way in which I'm seeing the transfer business being conducted. I don't think you remember how we normally do business. How we normally do business is we've got to ship out about 5-6 players first before we even start looking. We don't do no business until late down in the window. You know, remember, what was it, not last season, the season before, what was it, Willian and David Luiz, old worn-out players of, you know, at least this time, we are looking to add players of real quality to the squad. If we don't get them, it happens.
Yeah, but I'm not buying into that, though.
What do you mean you're not buying into that? You've seen, they've got Jesus, right? They bought in this Fabio Vieira, who's a very highly rated midfield player, right? Young, highly rated, player of the tournament in the under-21s. I noted that there's some people over in Porto, like who are part of the organisation there, who are really upset, saying that they lost him for too cheap, right? So those are two great signings, right? They brought in that kid Marquinhos, and they're looking to bring in others. Now, it's not every time you go after a target, Lee, that you're going to get him. They're going after Rafinha. They look to be trying their hardest, but it doesn't guarantee that they're going to get him.
No, well, I'm not going to be happy with that because like last.
There's no guarantee.
No, I know
say
that.
You're not happy?
I know that, but like, I'm not going to get all excited by that when I had my fingers burnt in January. we went for after Vlahovic for I don't know how long, and he never come. And I'm not going to go, oh, but at least we went for him, and then you find out that, well, maybe we didn't really have a chance. I want us to see us go for these targets and get them. You know, if you're going out...
you can't always get them.
Well, hold on a minute. How I see it is, if Rafinha wants to go to Barcelona, why are we continually going down that route then?
Because there's a chance. There's a chance. I just named out to you the reasons why.
No, I know,
If those obstacles were in the way, there probably would be no point, because Barcelona want him. He wants to go to Barcelona, and they'd have a clear run on him, right? But right now, Barcelona want him, but they're not in the position to get him. Even on top of that, the main player they want to get is Lewandowski anyway. So they're in a real bind at the moment. So as a football club, you've got to sense opportunity and move. It's not just, you don't just say, every target's got to want to come to Arsenal first.
No, I get what you're saying to a certain extent. Obviously, Basuma wanted to go to Arsenal, but he's chose Spurs, isn't he? Like, because obviously Arsenal didn't go for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that could be the case. But yeah, I'm not going to be excited about a player that don't really want to come play for us. I'm excited about Jesus because he's proved that he wants to come play for Arsenal.
But he was linked with a lot of other teams as well.
But he wanted to come to Arsenal. He hasn't turned around and said, I want to go to Barcelona. This Rafinha, 70 million, by the way.
65.
65. Well,
that's what Leeds want for him. Again, there's going to be negotiations.
I think it's a great signing because it's a good player and everything there. But I would rather us go for someone like Zaha or Gnabry because they want to come play.
Gnabry one I understand, but I just feel with a Gnabry
one. Why not Zaha? What's your problem with him?
Listen, when it comes to Zaha, right?
Don't want to play for Barcelona.
I was the person.
He wants to play for Arsenal.
When it comes to Zaha, I was a person before we bought Pepe who was saying we should get Zaha, and people were slating me and saying, he flopped at United. I said, listen, he's a great player, right? A reason why I wouldn't go for Zaha now is I'm looking at his age now.
Right, yeah.
And I'm looking at it and I'm saying he's going to be 29 going on 30. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking resale value. I'm looking at it and I'm saying to myself, are the best years past him sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, Whereas I look at
Rafinha, right? He's a Brazilian international. He's 25. He's done brilliantly in the Premier League. I'm not necessarily saying he's even better than Zaha. I think there's very similar players. But Zaha would probably cost you a similar amount of money because they're not going to want to lose Zaha, right? So they'd be driving a bargain of 50 plus for Zaha as well. And he's an older player. So that's why I prefer Rafinha. But I like Zaha. But for me, Rafinha, it's the going rate, man. You're the one who's always saying, what do you care about how much it is, isn't it?
No, I don't care. I don't care how much it is.
So what are you bringing up the money for then?
Well, I'm not brought up the money. Also, I'm just saying...
No, you did. You just said, he's going to cost 70 million.
Right. So I did bring that up. For a player, he's going to cost us 70 million, right, for a player that don't want to play for us. He wants to play at Barcelona.
No, come on, man. You can't go off of that every time.
I am, because you told me he wants to play at Barcelona. So what if he's here for a year and Barcelona all of a sudden have a load of money?
Then we got him under contract.
Yeah, but he won't want to... What, unhappily?
Nah, so every player you buy has got to want to come. Every single player you buy has got to want to come to. If you used to do a poll of most of those players that come from South America, Brazil, Argentina, those type of countries, and you said, where would you really like to play in Europe? The majority of them are going to say that. Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's their dream.
I get that.
Right?
The dream ain't Manchester City, by the way, or
it's not.
Or Chelsea, neither.
It's not. It's not. Right?
I agree. I agree with that.
But the fact that, listen, I look at it differently, and I say the fact that Barcelona have got a little issue in trying to be able to get a deal like that done. We sense an opportunity, we move. That's what everybody else does. That's what Man City does. I don't think Haaland's really wanting to go to Man City. I don't care what he says. I think Haaland, if Real Madrid would have been in for him, he would have went to Real Madrid. If Barcelona had the money for him, he'd have went to Barcelona. But they're not in for him at the moment. So he's gone to City.
So this is modern day football then, like what
Modern
we're
day
saying.
football, not every player's going to be like, oh, I'm desperate to go to Arsenal.
No, I'm not saying.
And if you ain't desperate to come to Arsenal, mate, you ain't coming.
Well, look, listen, I've got my reservations. This one's going to happen then, all right? Okay.
Well,
like,
it's not an easy deal to get done, and that's the other thing where.
so what you're saying is they've got to get this deal, because it's a hard deal. This is what you're saying. They're going to get this one done before they go for a left-sided player and a midfield player. Do you think that they're going to get these players
I
in?
feel that at the moment, I feel they're negotiating other deals as well, but I feel that this is the most high-profile, trickiest one to get done. So this one is drawing all of their efforts at the moment to try and get this one sorted out. There might be other deals that's like, right, we can wait a bit on that. But when you've got a player like Rafinha, the Barcelona thing hovering, not only that, put into the mix, Tottenham would like to sign Rafinha. Chelsea apparently have got a bit of interest in Rafinha, but both of those teams, they've kind of got targets at the moment that they're looking at. So Tottenham are after Richarlison is who they'd really like to get, and Chelsea, we've heard about them wanting to get Sterling, right? So Arsenal's probably looking at it and saying, right, if we move now,
Yeah, we can get it.
we can get him because they're distracted on those targets. Barcelona have got their issues. Let's move now. If we don't get him, then we move on to the next target. I think that's the right way to do it.
Right. Okay. I'm convinced then, like, you know what I mean? Rafinha.
You
it
still
is.
ain't excited, man.
No, listen, I'll be real.
I know what it's like. It's years of hurt.
Yeah, and it's years of like not, look, listen, I think that if we can get those other targets in, like, I had a good conversation about, say, like the Tillemans one or something like that. If you've got a year left of your contract, I get it now, is that don't forget the season finishes on the 11th or 12th of November, and it don't come back to
Boxing Day.
to Boxing Day, and then you've got another week and the transfer window opens.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be paying 35 million for a player for a couple of months when you can wait till January, Arsenal may want to do that with, say, like a Tillemans or someone like that.
Do you reckon that's what they're going to do?
Well, I don't know. The business model of it might say that. If you think that they're wanting 35 million, well, you've only got like till November and 1 week of December, and then they're in 6 months of their left of their contract.
You're actually making a great point, because what as well. So the Tielemans one at the start of the window was one of the ones that a lot of people are sort of saying, right, I reckon, yeah, Arsenal get him. There was talk of 25 million.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, Leicester are like, well, hold on, we want like 30, 35 million. And I think what you're saying, it makes a lot of sense, because players got 1 year left, as Jesus did, by the way. But I'll tell you the difference between the two. With the one for Tielemans, like you said, if they've spoken to him, which apparently they've been talking to him since January.
Yeah, so...
Right, and if they've spoken to him and he says, yeah, you know what, I definitely want to come. I don't want to go anywhere else. Yeah. I want to come to Arsenal. And then if they're looking around and they're thinking, no, we don't really see no one else in for Tielemans at the moment, then it does make sense to wait. Even if you wait down till the end of the transfer window.
Exactly.
Right? You say to yourself, we've got players in midfields, Partey's back in training as well, and that we got cover there. Right? Let's wait that one out and test Leicester's result.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because they
play the game.
Yeah, they know if they don't sell him by the end of the summer, right? Like you said, come January, that 25 million or 35 million amount could turn into like 10 million.
Yeah, 10, 15, yeah.
Because they know that they're going to lose him in a few months after that for zero, right? So it could be that they've had a shout off of Tielemans that he's definitely going to come, and they're just playing the waiting game. And that's why they haven't moved for him right now. That makes sense. Whereas in the case of the Jesus thing now, even though he's only got a year left, the situation's reversed in that we are desperate for a striker.
Exactly.
We've got no striker.
We can't take the gamble there.
We can't take the gamble. You look around, what other strikers are out there that Arsenal could have really, any other decent striker that I've heard linked with Arsenal, like Victor Osimhen and these guys, they're talking about like 100 million pounds. Yeah, exactly. And we've all seen what's happened recently with Lukaku and that. You don't want to go shelving out 100 million pounds on that. Yeah, on the Tielemans thing, I understand you on that.
And I think that how I look at it is with Jesus, 45 million is what is reported. That's a good deal, whether it's a year left of his contract or not. Like,
he's young.
He's
25.
young, 25. 35 for $1 million is what Leicester are reportedly going for. If Leicester were to come down and say, right, yeah, we'll give you it's 25, I think then you'd snap your hand off it. But 35 with a year left of his contract ain't a good deal for Arsenal at this moment in time. So I can see why they're trying to haggle with that and maybe play the waiting game.
And then maybe hang on, and then if say somebody does come in, say somebody does come in mid the window for him, then they maybe move.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you know what, it makes perfect sense. Wait it out.
Well, I know,
because they can't afford to. A club like Leicester can't afford to have Tielemans
go for nothing. No, so that could be a waiting game, and I get that from the business point of it all. Like, so you can't. On one hand we're saying, "I'll spend the money," but you've got to. There will be some sort of budget. There will be something, like today. And I do feel that somewhere along the line, you've got to do the right thing business-wise and everything like that. So I can get that. I get that they may be like, well, I'll tell you what, we've played a waiting game. As you say, Partey comes in for the first 4 or 5 games. Even if it goes up to that window, it's only 2 or 3 games. We can, with Partey and Saka, that's as good midfield. But, I would be very, very disappointed if Arsenal haven't got someone in that central midfield by the end of the transfer window, or definitely in January. I think Arsenal going into next season, January, hopefully they've learnt their lessons. It's not just January. That we have to strengthen, because you've got the lots of games coming up.
The best teams, right? The best teams, the best organised teams don't buy players in January.
No.
Unless they've picked up an injury or something. Or unless there's an absolute.
But they also, but you look at Liverpool, they brought in that Diaz.
Yeah, it's a bargain. And if you see,
it makes it.
If you see what they did with that Diaz, right? They really moved for Diaz. They didn't really need him then.
Yeah, but
and I think they were looking at more getting him at the end of the season. But because Tottenham were going to buy him.
Yeah, so they moved.
They were like, no, we got to move now.
Yeah, and it'll benefit them now going into this season. He's had 6 months in there.
Yeah.
So. I do think that if we can't get Tielemans or someone of that ilk in this transfer window, then it's essential that January we bite the bullet and make sure.
I think we've got to get someone in this window.
I do. I think we have. But I think we've got a little bit more where I'm saying, right, it'd be good if we got all the players in, and that includes the left-sided defender, because Tierney's not fit, even going into pre-season, right? Before the first game of the season. The Tielemans one, or midfield player, I'm not so bothered if that is at the end of the transfer window. I think there'd be a bit of business. So we want to be active the whole way through this window.
And we're not normally that. That's why I'm feeling a little bit more excited. But even when I saw Edu saying, the way he was talking, you could see he was talking with a guy of confidence that he's got a little money to spend. And do you know what? They're bound to have money to spend, because the wages have been drastically reduced.
Dropped.
You think of the high earners that are gone.
Eddie's the highest earner. No, he's not.
Aubameyang's gone, 350 grand a week. Lacazette, 175 grand.
Yeah.
Those two alone, the amount of wages they've freed up. I mean, I was looking, actually, let me see if I can find it, because I was looking at it the other day at the wages of.
I was surprised by a few of them in there, if I'll be honest, that were quite low, if I'll be honest.
Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, I've got it here, right? So, highest earner at the moment, Thomas Partey, 200,000. Jesus is going to be on about 192, so he's coming in. Nicholas Pepe, 140,000 a week.
Will he be gone?
And they're going to try and get rid of him, aren't they?
Yeah, he'll be gone.
I don't know who they're going to get rid of him to, because there's nobody really coming forth at the moment. And who's going to want to pay those sort of wages? And he ain't going to want to drop off of those wages. It might be an issue, but 140 grand a week. Ben White, 120. Hector Bellerin, 110. He'll go.
Yeah.
He was even the other day saying, listen, I'll take a
pay cut.
I'll take a hit on my wages. But again, also after money for him. Kieran Tierney, 110. Eddie, 100. Bern Leno, who's going to be going as well. We see that Fulham are trying to negotiate for him. He's on 100. Xhaka's on 100. Martinelli's on 90. Pablo Mari is another player that's going to go, 85. So there's a lot of wages freed up, isn't it? Yeah. And then Odegaard's on 79. Cedric's on 79. Lucas Torreira on 75. He'll go. Ramsdale's on 62. Tomiyasu's on 56. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he'll go. 52 grand a week. Sambi Lukonga, 52. Gabriel, only on 50. Right, that's what I mean. They've got these guys tied down on good wage structure. Rob Holding, 40. Alex Runnison, 40 grand a week. Runnison, he's gone. So that's gone. That's off it. William Saliba, who they're trying to negotiate a new deal with, 40 grand a week. Smith Rowe, 40 grand a week.
Smith Rowe, 40 grand.
40 grand a week.
Jesus Christ.
Bukayo Saka, 30 grand a week.
Well, that needs looking
Right.
at. Them two need looking at.
Nuno Tavares, 27 grand. And apparently Fabio Vieira, 25 grand a week. Big transfer fee, but only low wages. So the wage structure's starting to look decent.
Yeah, well, that's got to change. Saka and Smith Rowe.
Yeah, Saka, they're going to have to negotiate a new deal with.
And Gabriel.
And Gabriel. But once they've freed up a load of those wages, they'll be able to do, innit?
Yeah, because they've got to be on more money than anything.
Yeah, but you think of some of the players they had on ginormous wages, that they're all gone.
Yeah.
A lot of them are gone, or a lot of them are going. So this is why they're able to look at as well. Some of these players like, Jesus, like they can, Rafinhas and people like that. They'll be able to offer them a good package.
If I'm Gabriel and I am also Saka, though, I'm on the door.
Yeah,
definitely. Like,
Saka on 30 grand a week.
I am saying, not only that I want topping up, I also want a bit of back pay and all.
You're a greedy footballer.
No. He had the biggest workload last season.
Yeah.
He's been our star boy for the last couple of years. Come on.
He's a young guy's come through the ranks, though, isn't it? Probably when he burst onto the scene, he's probably on about 5 grand.
Do you know? I'm going to say this now, and I don't want to, name drop and things like that, but I will. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was out with Liam Brady the other night when I
I saw that.
So and he was
the legend Liam Brady,
and a proper
legendary
legend,
midfielder. What a player!
But
he used to be involved with the youth setup, didn't he?
Yeah, he was involved in the youth setup, and but when he was negotiating, do you know he never negotiated? Do you know back in the day when he left Arsenal, right? Arsenal never negotiated a new contract with him. You know what I mean? No, he never got offered. You know what I mean? And I couldn't believe it. And they was, he was the best player in probably the league at that stage. He went to Juventus, by the way, if people don't know, for very good money. Yeah, for very good money.
One of the first players to sort of go abroad and sort of
and done really was very, very successful in Italy. But Arsenal weren't willing to pay back then. And here we are now with Saka, number 7 as well.
I think but listen, with the Saka thing, this is what you got to think about, right? Is that Saka,
he shouldn't be on that lower wage.
Was a graduate from Haley.
Yeah.
But so when you're a graduate at Haley, and you're probably on a couple of grand a week, 3-4 grand a week, right? So you come through, you're coming off you're just really a bit part player coming into the first league,
I get that.
Then now he would have taken off, so they would have said, hey, hold on, to reward you for the fact now that you're in the first team, we're going to up that from like 5 to 30 grand a week, right? Which at his age, he'd be like, yeah, I'll bring it on, you know what I mean? But now, obviously, he's had a full season, he's an established first team player. Now you're no longer international, so now obviously they're going to have to go and sit down with him again and renegotiate with him again now. And I think you'll see his wages probably jump to like a 120 to 150.
Yeah, 100%. And I can't.
Because
and
if you don't, you won't keep
What's he doing?
And
Smith Rowe as well.
Smith Rowe as well. But again, he's the same thing, isn't it?
More important, they got the shirt. I think it was like, I'll pay you 40 grand a week. If for the number 10 shirt, well, we'll pay 35. Yeah, I want the number 10.
Yeah, but
what's going on here?
But I guess they'll renegotiate his deal. And the other one they've got to renegotiate is Saliba, because they've only got 2 years left. But apparently they are sitting down and negotiating with him a new deal as well. He's just got... It's incremental, isn't it? So, when they've gone and performed and, say, Saliba, you've gone away on loan and you've got young player of the season, you're in a good position now when you come back.
Exactly. And I think Gabriel's in a good position as well. Yeah. I think he's our best defender, if I'm being honest.
What I'm seeing from that is a more sensible wage structure.
Yeah.
Where you haven't got players on ridiculous wages that don't deserve it. I mean, somebody will look on it and say, well, why is Xhaka getting 100 grand a week? But he's a senior player.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's been there for a long time and he's a senior player. You know, someone will say, why is Hector Bellerin getting 110? He's a senior player. And at one time, he was one of the main players for Arsenal. It's just he's dropped off, right? So it's looking sensible. And when you've got a sensible wage structure, that means you can go and look for players and bring them in. Maybe we should be going after Gnabry.
Also, I will state this, and that Arsenal are not, and have never been the greatest players in all the time. But what they do,
they all pay. They pay good. I think they pay well.
No. But what they do is bonuses are very, very. Don't forget, you get a lot. There's a lot of bonuses that may be in with those contracts as well, like and Arsenal do.
That's very smart, isn't it? Because we ain't won nothing for ages.
No, but they do
have to pay no bonuses out.
It goes on appearances, goes on internationals, goes on things and all that. Like so, even though it might be low on wages, their bonuses will add that. And Arsenal are apparently, and I know that from inside info, like, you know, the bonus situation at Arsenal is very, very good.
Well, you've been out and about talking.
I actually had a fantastic. I was at the Savoy last week, and I was fortunate enough to be on Liam Brady's table. What a gentleman, by the way, an absolute gentleman. And yeah, you know, and they'd done an auction, right? I've got to say this, like, you know, they'd done an auction, right, to have lunch with Liam Brady and David O'Leary. They also done a raffle for it as well. The actual went for £5,000 to have lunch with him, like, you know. And I'm sitting there next to him, like, for nothing. It was, you know, unreal. And when he didn't have his sweet, which was like a lemon, what do they call it, meringue, I said, Liam? He went, yeah, there you go. So,
taking seconds of Liam Brady.
So I'm taking seconds.
Are you real hobnobbing, eh?
Oh yeah, it was a quality day, and like, you know, what an absolute gentleman. Arsenal through and through. You know what I mean? Like, loves the club, and told me a few insights when, you know, playing for the club. You know that Arsenal are not as ambitious as they weren't as ambitious. You know, all through the times going through. You know what I mean? There's always been that. Can Arsenal do a little bit more? All through, if you have a look back, all through the way it has been, that's the way Arsenal are.
So let me ask you this question, Lee. Do you think the pennies drop now with the Cronkies, right? And that maybe we might be seeing a difference with them? And the reason why I say that, right, is that I don't know if you saw that their NHL team, their hockey team.
Oh yeah, Stanley's won the Stanley Cup.
Stanley's won the Stanley Cup, yeah. So they won the Stanley Cup, which that's a big deal, isn't it, in America? So in the space of 1 year, he's won the Super Bowl and the Stanley Cup, his organisations. Do you think he's now looking at it and thinking, right, now's the time for Arsenal? And that's why he's getting a bit more serious with what he's doing in the transfer? Because certainly, I haven't seen us operate this way in the transfer window for over 10 years.
What, longer than that, Robert?
We're showing a bit of ambition.
Yeah.
Whether we get the targets or not, we're showing a bit of ambition. So I'm thinking, is there been a change in their attitude? I
think there has been a change, but one reason, because they're sole owners now. I don't care what anybody says, you know what I mean? If they're sole owners, so like they are putting their money where their mouth is. They are, you know, like the last season after the pandemic, they put in a fair amount of money. If, and it's a big if at this moment in time, they do get the deals that they want to get done, you're going to be looking to spend 200 million, maybe a little bit less on all play. You know, like 70 million for Rafinha, like, is no, it's no chicken feed, is it?
Already they spent 45 on Jesus. They spent 35 on 34 on Vieira. And Marquinhos as well. So they already spent about 80 odd million in this transfer window.
So, you know, and rumoured to be 3 or 4 more to come in.
Yeah.
So they are spending. All right, they're going to recoup a little bit with certain players and all that. But there is a genuine feeling of thing. And if you have to look at whether you like the Cronkies or not, they are showing that little bit of ambition. Like, you know, Is it going to be enough? Who knows? But at this moment in time, I have to be honest. You can't say that they're not. So, yes, we always want to have a go at them and all that, like. But listen, Edu's turned around and said on an interview, I see it. I love Edu as a player, by the way, as you well know.
Me too.
I won't if this doesn't come off, because he told me to be excited. He said the next couple of weeks, Arsenal fans are going to be excited. Now,
far he's right.
Yeah, he's made statements last season which were very, very critical, like, there's no real target
Yeah,
and
I
whatever.
didn't like that.
I didn't like that. But this time he's sat there and he's turned around and said, Arsenal fans will be excited with what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. And I feel if he's going to be a man of his word, because if he isn't,
they're trying.
If he isn't, it's a real kick in the old teeth. After Josh said it a couple of years ago, and I've not been excited really. I'll be honest. When he said it, you know, when he said, we're going to be excited, I wouldn't want to go to one of his parties. I'm telling you that now, like, do you know what I mean? But I'm happy to go to an Edu barbecue anytime, because that does look a bit more exciting.
He puts a bit too much flames on it.
Yeah, well, I don't mind, like, I don't like all that spicy stuff.
He burn all the sausages,
oh, does he?
He burn the chicken. I saw them flames how high they were on his barbecue. Man. I was like, yo, you got jerk chicken going on, man. It's all burnt.
Yeah, well, as long as it ain't spicy, I'm up for an invite. But but it does seem to be a little bit more of excitement going in there. Listen, for us and everybody there, we've seen him in pre-season tours and pre-season games, and there's nothing there to excite you, is there? Like, you know, going into the games. But I'll tell you what, if you have got Jesus, you have got Rafinha there, you've got the left-sided defender in Martinez there, you've got Vieira. Come those, you know, like, maybe not so much the American one, but certainly the Emirates Cup, which they have here, like, you know, it will be exciting for fans to see those players.
I'm already buzzing for that trip to America, which I know you're going to be.
Yeah.
Lee's going to be with us as well.
Yeah.
Right? I'm buzzing for that because of the new players. I'm buzzing to see Gabriel Jesus in an Arsenal shirt. I'm buzzing if you get Rafinha in it. I mean, I'll be buzzing, and I'll be buzzing for the new season as well, because I'm going to be excited to see those players play. So at the moment, as I said, I've not been buzzing pre-season for a very, very long time. I've just been like, oh yeah, we've just been going through the motions, and then we get down to the last week and we're rushing around trying to get this player and that player. At the moment, I'm like, I see something being constructed, and you know.
That's a great point. And the great thing is you know, like when we're in America, that they are launching the black kit, aren't they? Like the black and gold kit. Now all of a sudden, you know, that could be an exciting kit launch, couldn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? The last few kit launches, but like, the kits have been fantastic, by the way. You know what I mean? And they are. All the new training gear. I've been in the Emirates today. Like, it was all out, and it's all nice gear and all that. Like, but I've never been quite, because there's never been. But now, you know, that if those deals come off and they're out in America when that launch, you know, that's going to be an exciting kit launch.
Yeah,
isn't it?
And when was the last time as well you was excited to like have, you know, put a player on the back of your shirt?
Well, exactly.
Apart from our young players that we know and love. So I'm honestly, and the other thing about it, right, he's bringing in half of Brazil at the moment.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean?
You could have a front three, all Brazilian front three, Rafinha, Jesus, Martinelli.
And all exciting players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look how, you know, for me, Martinelli's still an exciting player and one I'm really looking forward to seeing. But I honestly believe, and people are going, oh, where's Martinelli going to play? This will enhance all of our young players. It will make them better.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, it will up their
look
game.
at last season, if we had these calibre of players in the team, we would have got the top four. Because when we started dropping off, you got better players to come in, right? You know what I mean? I want to see competition for places. Genuine competition.
Yeah, genuine. That's
Saka
a great point.
and Rafinha going at it. You know what I mean? I want to see, you know, Jesus and Eddie going. Eddie says he wants to be the main guy. I don't care who's the main guy, as long as whoever it is banging in the goals.
Banging in the goals. And
I'll tell you one thing though. Actually, I've got one thing for you. You know, I don't know. I don't think I really got a chance to speak to you when the 14 shirt was handed out. I don't know what your thoughts was on that.
I'm not bothered by it.
I'm not actually bothered by it, but I know there was a lot of people that were bothered by it. But listen, I've got one for you. Forget who gets the number 14 shirt. Who gets the celebration? Right? Because both Eddie and Jesus both got the little...
Do you think there's going to be...
They both got the phone call me going on it. So
there's going to be something like that in the it's got to be something like that.
Who gets it? First one to 10 goals gets the celebration.
Yeah, and but I think they're both they use that in the promo, surely. Like Eddie ringing him up or saying like they've got
to be in the marketing team, isn't it?
Or Rafinha, you know, then ringing up Rafinha, then ringing up Martinez and all that. It's got to be something in there, isn't it?
Let's get you in the marketing team.
Yeah, like that. But I'll tell you one point that I think 2 points really that, as well with that is that obviously the 5 substitutes come in next season, so you're going to need a bigger squad. But also, I've sat there and I don't want to be doing this no more. And this is nothing against the kids on the bench or whatever, but when I'm at the Emirates and a couple of them warming up, like, who's that there? Oh, I don't know, like, I have to look up in the programme, oh, number 67, oh, so-and-so, so-and-so. I want to, when those subs are warming up at the Emirates, I go, oh, yes, bang, 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 I know who they are because I've seen them. At this moment in time, we've had 4 or 5 kids, by the way, warming up on the bench, that have never got on.
Never got on. That just showed you that they weren't...
It just shows you how weak that was. Yeah. And none of us know. We're looking in our programmes going, oh, it's so-and-so, so-and-so. Like, well, you know what I mean?
Maury Hutchinson's a very good player, you know what I mean? And you know,
what number was he then?
I can't remember what number it was.
No, exactly. Well, you know what number Martinelli is, don't you?
Yeah, but I'm saying...
Yeah,
Maury Hutchinson is a very good player.
But what I'm saying is, you know what I mean? That I've never seen them play.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
And they're still young players.
I don't mind them players for the Europa or the Carabao Cup. Fantastic. But when I'm looking at a Premier League game and I'm not I'm looking and I think I don't really know who that is. Now with 5 substitutes. You know what I mean? This is a key thing. This is next season that you've got 5 substitutes. Now, for instance, we've now got options of 3 or 4 forward attacking players coming on. If for instance they sign those players, we're just saying it's the 3 English guys are on the bench, or it's the 3 Brazilian guys on the bench. You know what I mean? But look, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, we're chasing a game. You're bringing on that quality. That's that sort of quality. So that's vital that these players are come over the line.
And you know another thing, and I said it on the Bias Premier League show, this team is now blessed because we're going to have Jesus and Mohammed in the team.
Well, yeah.
Can't lose. We can't lose with that. I'll tell you one thing though, on a more serious note, there's going to be no excuses for Mikel Arteta and if he gets players in. You know, and this is going to be his team now.
100%. This is the first time, you know, that he signed a forward. Right, I know like Eddie was already there. Willian was an attacking player, but he wasn't a forward. Like I'm talking, so Jesus is his first real number 9 signing, right? You know what I mean? So he's been here 4 years and he's spent money. All right, we'll say that like, for the first time on an attacking player. You know what I mean? Pepe was already here. Martinelli was already here. Willian he didn't spend no money on, so this is his first time. So when people turn around and say, "Well, he needs his own forwards and all that," like you know, he has to bring them in, and Eddie because he's really given Eddie a lot of praise.
And they have to score goals. He's the one who said keep Eddie.
Yeah, so they have to score goals in his system and the way he's playing. No excuses, and they need to be pushing for top 4 and the Europa League this season. And I don't care what anybody says, whether the World Cup is halfway through the season or, you know what I mean, it's raining or there's cloud cover or whatever, there is no excuses no more. The excuses and what I'll say, like, you know, like unconditional backing of Arteta has been admirable by the fans. Got to say that. But now he has to deliver as well.
Has to deliver. I mean, would you say if you get Rafinha, obviously Jesus, Tielemans, and the left back
Martinez,
and obviously you've got Vieira in already. If he gets that,
Saliba
right,
coming back.
Let's take Tielemans out of it. Let's just say maybe something happens we don't get Tielemans. But it gets Vieira, Rafinha, left back Lisandro Martinez, Saliba's back. Do you look on that team and say, if you don't get top 4, see you later?
Yeah. Well, not just top 4. I'm going to give him. He's got 2 options. He's got two goes, two bites at the cherry, isn't he? He's got the Europa League as well.
So you either got to win the Europa League.
He's either win the Europa League or get in top 4.
Or goodbye.
Or goodbye. Preferably both. Get into top 4 and win the Europa League. Preferably both. I also think.
You think that should be a target set for
that
him?
is a target set for me. You've got 2 opportunities to get there. You know what I mean? Now, circumstances could happen that you might not. If, for instance, you've got 3 games left with 4 points in front of it, like you can't mess up no more. You know what I mean? Also, I think there's very, very key. Not so much the Europa League, the League Cup, but I don't want to see us going out early or against a team away from the Premier League. I don't want to see us getting knocked out. If we're going to get knocked out of the FA Cup, it's one of the top 4 teams. Not going away to Southampton and losing, going away to Nottingham Forest and losing, going away to someone like that. We have got to go deep in that as well. Because I think what that would tell me is that the players backing up the players that are there are as good as well.
Yeah, I feel that if I was setting a target for next season, it's you have to get top 4. You have to get Arsenal Football Club back in the Champions League. I've given you a squad. You have to get us back into the Champions League. So whether you, like you said, I agree with you, whether you win the Europa League or you do it through getting through the league, you have to get us back into the top 4. Also, I want to see an improvement against those bigger teams. I don't want to go to City or Liverpool and just get battered all the time. I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, we've got to take points off of those teams that are, traditionally finish in the top 4. We have to take points off those teams, and also the away record that was horrendous last year. That has to improve.
100%.
That has to be much. We've got to be better on the road.
And that is with a better defence, Robbie, by the way. Our defenders, as players, is better. So we should be defending a lot better.
Yeah, we don't. You see, look like a lot of the attacking players they're bringing in. Really and truly, when you look at it, we didn't score enough goals last year.
No.
Our goal scoring wasn't good enough. We're relying on kids. So you can see why they're trying to add like top quality players to that attacking line that can score goals, because we just don't score enough.
100%. We lost 5-0 at Man City, 4-0 at Liverpool, 3-0 at Spurs. We beat Chelsea, and we lost to Man United 3-2.
3-2, yeah.
So you look at that. That's a lot of goals conceded at the big big clubs. Even 2 against Chelsea, by the way, in a 4-2 win. So you've gone 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. That has got to improve. It's not good enough. So
if you're going to get in the top 4,
you need to improve.
Top 4, you've got to go and take some points off of them big. That's what ultimately Tottenham did. They went and took that point. I think their turning point was when they went to Liverpool and got that draw.
Yeah,
it really was. And they also got a win at Man City.
Yeah,
so we got to start doing that. We just seem to be fodder all the time to those teams. Got to make a statement. Got to go away to one of them teams and beat them. That's what I feel for Mikel Arteta, to get his turning point moment against some of those teams as well.
It will, because what it does, Robbie, is like Spurs, by getting that, it gives them confidence to go to by beating Man City. It give them confidence going into that Liverpool game. Like if when talking to Spurs fans and that, they genuinely thought they could get a point from that game.
Yeah.
Right. At Liverpool flying. Yeah. Liverpoul flying. Yeah. When we went up to Anfield, we was I got pillared for saying 3 and all that, because it's trying to take the pressure off. You know what I mean? But ultimately, we knew we weren't going to win.
Yeah.
So that is something we've got to go. We've got to address that. So when you go to Anfield, I'm not saying you're going to win there, but you're going up there thinking, we've got a chance, not, it's how many goals we don't concede today. Yeah. We've gone up to those grounds in the last 4 or 5 years, not just under Mikel Arteta, by the way, thinking it's going to be a cricket score. And
that's because we ain't had the quality.
No, we've got it now.
If we're getting quality in now there's no excuse.
Again,
it's not. It's going to be easy, but it just let's have a better team that when we go up there, we can they can be a bit fearful of what we got to offer as well. Whereas they haven't really been in over the past 4 or 5 seasons.
Exactly.
So it's all about quality. It's all about adding quality, and I agree with you. If we get those players in that we're trying to get in, the excuses.
And listen,
I want to hear nobody telling me nothing about, it's still part of the process. We're still no. We get that quality in, top 4.
And also, which is more as important as it is, if we get them in, looking forward to the first game of the season as fans, not like last season, dreading it. Because you knew that I was going to lose to to Brentford, then lose to Man City, then lose to Chelsea. We never really competed against Chelsea at home, if I'll be honest, when we lost 2-0. It was like an easy game for them. But, fans were dreading that. Like, let's be, like, bring on Palace. Like, look forward to going to Crystal Palace and thinking, do you know what? We're going there. We're coming for you, Patrick, and we're going to have you. You know what I mean? Like, and not being humble from it, and that is something that we can do. To me, that's important. Like last season, I was dreading the season coming. When people going, "Oh, you look forward," I go, "Oh, no, I'm not ready." I want to go to America, looking forward to that. Going then to the first game of the season, looking forward to it. Looking forward to going to Old Trafford at the end of September. Looking forward to playing Manchester City, not dreading them.
Exactly. Well, listen, Lee, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. If we can get some more of these signings, at least we're active at the moment, and that's great to see. Well, listen, I want to hear from you guys. What have you made as a signing so far? What have you made of Arsenal's movements in the transfer window so far? Are you happy with it? Don't forget to subscribe here to AFTV, like this video, and Lee, thank you very much.
No worries, enjoyed that.
Was it lunch for 2 with Tony Adams or?
I might blow Tony out.
We'll see you next week.